What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? And thank you for tuning into the Stoke Is Real. And I applaud you for being on this journey, man, because we're growing together. We are growing together. Um, it's awesome to get the feedback from everybody. You know what's going on, what things work in their life. Many have gotten a hold of me who have read DIFY, Do It For Yourself, and there are little things that have helped them in their life. And ultimately, that's what it is. You will begin to understand my whole philosophy is personal accountability, small habits make giant changes, and it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you don't get your ass off the couch and take action, it ain't going to work. And I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule. There are people who are sitting on their couch with their laptop or with their phone and they're making things happen, rock and frickin' roll. But ultimately, nothing changes until something moves, and that something is you. And today, I want to talk about visualization. And you might say, gee, I can't visualize. Well, by the end of this video, you will be able to. You will understand what's going on. And I'm going to tell you about how I have healed my body months ahead of where the doctors told me I would be walking. And we'll start there. We will start there. I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, I broke my leg. And as crazy as it is, throughout my career, I have fractured my skull. I've super glued my teeth in. I've stitched myself up, hundreds of stitches, all these kinds of things. And I had never had a cast. And I actually broke my leg and the little bone, tibia, broke it in half. And the doctor did surgery on me on June 22nd was the date, or June 23rd. He did surgery and put a titanium plate in my ankle, put a cast on. He's like, you might be walking by October. And this is June 23rd. So I'm like, all right, whatever, man. And so I go for my 3-week follow-up. And he looks at the x-ray, and I went to the best surgeon I could find. This guy is the guy that's fixing up the Detroit Red Wings professional hockey team. This guy is got a great reputation. Well, he looks 3 weeks in, he looks at my x-ray, and he's like, the bottom of the big bone is shattered, and I got to put some more screws in. Now, mind you, June 23rd, he told me I might be walking by October. So now we're into the second week of July. He's doing another surgery. He pulls out some freaking deck screws and puts them in my leg. And the reason I know that is because years later I had them taken out, and I actually have them downstairs in a Ziploc bag. The screws he took out of my out of that bone. But anyway, so second week of July, he's putting more screws in my bone. I'm getting more surgeries, and let's go back. June 23rd, he said maybe October. So throughout the summer, I stay mentally busy because I'm a recovered alcoholic, and I know if I'm sitting around, I could get in trouble. So I start working with the Tony Hawk Foundation, nonprofit. I'm working on artwork. I'm doing things. I'm staying busy, mentally busy, as physically busy as I can. But throughout that, every day, every other day, I'm sitting on the couch and doing mental workouts for my leg. I'm talking to my body and asking my healthiest blood to go and heal my leg. And you might be like, woo, 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 whatever. Like, that shit don't work. I'm telling you it does, especially if you are honest and sincere about it. Your mind controls so much of your life. And so that summer, every day, every other day, I'm doing mental workouts. I can feel my muscles reacting in the cast. On August 27th, the surgeon cut off my cast, and he thought he was putting on another cast. And he looked at, the x-ray from that day, wiggled my foot around, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing, Garold, but you're healed. August 27th. He told me I might be walking by October. And then I said, what about physical therapy, man? And he wiggled my foot around. He's like, again, G, I don't know what you're doing, but you don't even need physical therapy. He's like, it's going to be a little tingly for a while. I said, when can I step on my skateboard? He's like, give it a couple weeks. And I did go to physical therapy because I was trying to build the strongest rebuild so I could get back to doing the things I love. But the power of mind, because I had a positive mindset. I was visualizing the healed bones. I was staying positively busy, and I healed almost 2 months, maybe even more than that, 2 months ahead of schedule. Visualization can change your life. It really can. And where I got into it is you'll hear me talking throughout these videos about the different people that have inspired me. Dr. Wayne Dyer, um, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. But one of the biggest inspirations in my life, and somebody who has taught me a lot through their teachings, through their books, I actually sent him a copy of DIFY, is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And there'll be a link below to his website, but Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he got his body wrecked. He ended up healing it through the power of mind, and it's an insane story. But when that happened, which was 30 plus years ago, he said, "When I heal myself, I am gonna share this with the world." And over the last 30 years, and he's a scientist. He's not really a woo-woo guy. He's measuring everything. And his message inspired me to take action. And ultimately, that's what we have to do. If you hear something and you take action on it, it's inspirational to you. And so with his messaging and his stories, I believed it. And so I looked at it. And then he offers different kind of step by steps of what to do. And I took advantage of that. I still do to this day. I use some of Dr. Joe's practices and exercises in my daily living because it it works. It works, and I am proof that it works. And in my mornings, years ago, developed before I even get out of bed, I visualize how I want my day to go. I feel that our thoughts can impact the world around us. And so before I even get out of bed, I lay out my day. I sort of know what my day is going to be like. And if there's some wacky wild cards, I'll put that in my visualization. And even if you can't like create pictures in your mind, think about it. Before you get out of bed, give yourself 2, 3 minutes in the morning to visualize your day, what you want it to look like, what you want breakfast to look like, what you want whatever your productive activities for that day, what you want those to look like, how you want dinner to look, how you want to feel. Try to embody that and put that out there, and it will impact your daily life. That's the very first thing I would like you to implement into your life if you so choose, and it will be life changing, and it will happen quickly. It will happen quickly. Um, the other thing, the power of mind can make you sick and it can make you healthy. And in Dr. Joe's book, there's a young lady who goes through a devastating life event, and it just cripples her mentally. And she loses everything, develops diseases, I mean, gnarly, like cancer and sores on her mouth and all kinds of stuff. And that took her practice away. She was a doctor, practice gone, physical activity gone. And it was, in my opinion, and Dr. Joe's, it was her thoughts that crippled her body. She ended up going to one of Dr. Joe's weekend retreat things and embracing what he was saying. And all he's doing is giving the power back to you. And that's a big part of what I do is help people understand the power they have within themselves, because you are more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And this young lady went down a downward spiral, crippled her life. She heard a different message, changed her mindset, and within a very short period of time, I believe it was like 12 months, almost all of her illnesses are gone. She was fine. And within a short period after that, she got her practice back and she was actually speaking on stages. And it all had to do with how powerful her thoughts were. So think about that. We have anywhere between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day. And most of those thoughts are repetitions from yesterday. By the age of 35, 80%, 85% of your days are a repeat of the previous day. And I want you to think about taking control of that, taking control of your thoughts. You have that power. You have that power to take control of your thoughts. And when you're having a negative thought, do something. For a while, I put on a bracelet. I don't know if you remember, I've been around for a minute, and it was like in the 80s. People, one of the quit smoking things was a rubber band on your wrist, and every time you thought about smoking, you snapped this rubber band on your wrist. I don't think it really had a success rate, but you're looking at your hands all the time, and if you have a bracelet that reminds you of something, whatever it is, in this case, it was reminding me to take control of my thoughts, what my thoughts were each day. Take control of that shit, man. And it can and will change your life. I healed my body. I just had 2 major surgeries this year because I just wore out certain parts of my body. My life has been pretty freaking exciting, and I'm stoked. And I had to get some things worked on, and I went in gratitude. I was thankful for getting, a little bit over 5 decades out of the body I grew out of the womb, and I wore it out. I needed some new parts so I can wear those out, because that's my mindset on it. Give me a new hip. I want to wear that thing out too. But I just went through major surgery, and the doctor initially with my first one laid out the trajectory. Here's, in a month you'll be doing this, in 3 months you'll be doing this, in 6 months you'll be doing that. When I went back to see him, he was like, "Wow, you're like 2 months ahead of schedule." It's the power of thought, man. It's the power of thought. I did not lay on the couch and say, "I'm a victim, everybody help me." I laid on the couch and said, "What can I do to get my ass off this couch as quick as possible?" And ultimately, it was my brain. Because for a while, I was crippled, man. And they cut off my leg and put a new hip in due to my hockey career. And I'm sure skateboarding didn't help. But I'm like, give them to me, man. Let's get this thing going. Let's get the recovery going. I want to get back on the ice. I want to get back on my skateboard. I want to go jump on some trampolines and who knows whatever else. And the doctor's like, "I can't advise that." Well, it's my body. And that's what he said. He's like, "You know your body, G. You do what you think is comfortable, but I can't tell you what to do." But I healed quick and ahead of schedule. And it was mindset. It was the power of thought. It was visualizing being back on my skateboard. It was visualizing hiking mountains. It was visualizing all those things and knowing I'm getting back there. Now, if I shift that and lay on the couch and say, "Woe is me, my life is over, I had to get this surgery," I guarantee you the results would be far different than where I'm at today. So, with that, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. But think about that. The couple things I'd like you to take away, the things I'd like you to give a shot to, visualizing your day in the morning. Give that a shot. Visualize your day in the morning. And if you're going through some kind of discomfort, some kind of, if it's a physical thing, if it's a mental thing, start visualizing the best possible outcome. Feel that emotion, and your life will change. You know, we're on this journey together, and I want you to get one thing, just one thing out of every video you watch. And some won't resonate with you, but I hope you get something that's going to make your life better, because ultimately I want you to understand how much power you have in wherever you're at in your life. Realize you are the director. You get to decide, and it starts here. In those 60 to 80,000 thoughts, again, take control of those thoughts. So with that, thank you guys so much. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and let's continue to make positivity go viral.
Come on!